Motivational Monday, and I'm gonna give a cheer to Motivational Monday, and I'm so glad you're here. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I am so glad that you're here. And if you're new here, welcome to the family. And you know what? Go ahead and subscribe so you can be part of the community because we would simply love to have you here. And of course, don't forget to give a like to this video if you enjoy all things motivation, inspiration, and mentorship, and living in the lifestyle of all three. So, as you can see by the title of today's video, this is Motivational Monday and the very first Motivational Monday for this series. Now, if you may recall, if you've already been on my channel, I actually had a series of uplifting inspirational moment shorts, and I still have those all listed in a playlist, so you can take a look there and peruse the ones that you're interested in, and take a look at those. I would say look at all of them. I mean, they're all helpful, and I like a good uplift, right? Doesn't anybody like a good uplift? So yeah, go ahead and check that out. So Motivational Monday is actually, like I said, going to be an extended leg to that. And how we're going to do Motivational Mondays here is I'm going to pull out any type of random quote, and we're going to try to pull elements from that quote to utilize as practical tips in order to ensure that we are fortifying what we need in order to continue in feeling that we are living in a lifestyle of motivation, inspiration, and mentorship. So, of course, we all need uplifting joy every day, if you ask me. 24 hours a day would be great, as I would like Motivation Suite to be that place you come to for any type of uplifting joy that you may need, any day, any time of the week. So that being said, let us get started, shall we? Now, today's quote: sometimes you have to give up on people, not because you don't care, but because they don't. Now, naturally, that can be hard for some of us because depending on the different types of relationships that you may be involved in, it can be a bit challenging to actually separate yourselves from certain individuals, such as family, close relationships, expectations not realized in those relationships, loyalty issues, misguided directions by putting your faith into individuals you should not, or my favorite, giving the benefit of the doubt. Now, me personally, I would say I really appreciate the fact of being able to really assess that someone is giving me reasons to trust them. So I need to see that first. Now, of course, when it comes to parents and such, benefit of the doubt is going to be given. But, for everybody else, we're sticking to the trust factor here. So with that, let us go ahead and do some exploration of this quote. And we're going to start off by covering some of the types of people you just might have to give up on. Number one, toxic people. You know the ones, those who mostly care about themselves. Number two, energy suckers. Oh yes, those are the ones that actually suck out all the air out of the room while slowly draining you of your life source. And thirdly, attention seekers. I know you saying, I know what kind of people those are. Now, these are the ones that the spotlight always has to be on them or their trials and tribulations, and which only results in the fact is there is just simply no room for you. And next, those who do not see you. You know the ones. These are the individuals who do not value your opinions or even what you have to say, or just value you altogether, as you might as well be invisible to them because they just don't simply see you anyways. And lastly, those you cannot trust. And I always say, without trust, there simply is no relationship. Now that we have covered some of the individuals that would probably fall into this category of basically, separating yourselves from, it's not a list that is inclusive of all types of individuals who might fall into this category. But I think this category really does cover a varied area of individuals that you kind of want to stay away from. And if you see that you have them in your circle, you might want to start finding ways to space yourself away from them. Yeah. But the good thing is there are benefits to allowing individuals like these to exit stage left. That's right. There's always benefits for this type of action. So that way you're not feeling so hard on yourself when you have to make these choices. So why don't we go dive right back in and check out some of those benefits? So here we go. Number 1, peace of mind. Now, peace of mind shows itself as sheer joy and bliss. And next up, reestablish confidence by way of keying in on how wonderful you truly are and walking in a renewed sense of self and reassurance. And next up, trust in yourself. Feeling good about your decision-making process and not beating yourself up further for past mishaps. Next up, time for more important things. You see, with all your cleaning out that you've just done, you now have more time to tend to those things you hold dear to yourself. And lastly, focus on the right things. Because now with your newfound freed up time, you can pay closer and intentional attention to those things that are important to you, such as your goals and other healthy, familiar, platonic, or romantic relationships. So now it's easy to appreciate the concept of separating yourself from individuals who are not really best for you to continue on with in your close circle of friends or family or confidant. But in order to give a little bit of focus on how we can move forward when we have those down times or those feelings of possibly abandonment, especially in the earlier stage of that time, well, we definitely had to come up with some ways to cope for that. So let's go ahead and dive into the ways that we will cope with those types of situations. All right, diving into ways to cope with the feelings of those you have banished from your life. First up, get to know yourself and work to enjoy your own company always. This will fill up that time that seems to seem idle for you with good, positive vibes. Next up, create boundaries of space to protect your inner peace. You should always keep this at the forefront, as this should be your number one goal for merely existing from day to day. Trust me, you'll thank me for it later. Next up, work on your realization of self-worth and self-esteem, and seek guidance from trusted sources if need be. By doing this, it represents itself as a key component to restoring from hurt feelings and bouts of simply feeling abandoned from past relationships. And lastly, love yourself. And yeah, do this because you're awesome. And why the heck not? Love yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, how are you going to expect others to do it for you? So let us recap, shall we? So today we covered individuals that would fit the bill for those that you would need to distance yourself from, as they do not support you being the best you that you can be. And some of those categories that we covered were toxic people, energy suckers, attention seekers, those who don't see you, and those you can't trust. And then we looked at the benefits of lightening the load a bit by exiting those individuals who shouldn't be continuing on your life's journey. And so those types of benefits we covered were that of peace of mind, reestablishing confidence in yourself, trusting in yourself, making time for more important things, and focusing on the right things that are helping you to move forward in a positive manner in your life. Now, unfortunately, we might find ourselves in a position where we might feel a little bit lonely because we might have had to cut a few more people than we anticipated, or may feel a little bit abandoned by those lost relationships. And some of those ways to cope were getting to know yourself and working to enjoy your own company always, creating those necessary boundaries, and working on the realization of your self-worth, as well as the biggest one of them all, loving yourself. So let's go ahead and go over that quote one more time. Sometimes you have to give up on people not because you don't care, but because they don't. And remember, not all loss is a loss, just a little food for thought. Well, I think that about wraps it up for this week's Motivational Monday. I hope that you enjoyed. I enjoyed bringing it to you. And remember, there's always something that you can take for practical action taking to associate for these quotes to make them more internal and more connected to you in your day-to-day activities. So, of course, I would so love for you to subscribe to this channel if you were new and be a part of the community. For those who've been on the Motivational Sweet journey with me, so glad for your continued viewing support. So I guess with that, I will bid you adieu, but I do hope that you will have a blessed rest of your week. Come back and see me. And yeah, until next time, take care. Bye.